What is up, guys? It's Kurt from Weber's Strength. Today I'm going to show you how to perfect your push-up. So push-up, everyone's seen it, very simple exercise, but often done wrong or incorrectly or not emphasizing the muscles that we want. So I'm going to go over how to do the push-up and a simple progression to help get you better at your push-ups as well. So first off, let's talk about the anatomy or the push-up structure that we want. So muscles used, chest, front deltoid, and also the tricep. So depending on where your grip angle is and what you do with your elbows will depend on what muscles are emphasized. In order to do the best push-up or to be as strongest as you can in the push-up, we want to maximize contribution from all these muscle groups. Too often I find that the incorrect position, or people will do the incorrect position, and you will only rely on one muscle group. So it's either the chest or the triceps, depending on where your elbows are at. So when I get down to this position, first thing is you don't want your hands too wide when you're doing this. So the biggest mistake I see is people too wide, and that's going to force the elbows to go outward. When the elbows go outward, you'll see this angle here, and I'll exaggerate it for you, but the elbow goes out. That's really inefficient as far as force transfer goes. So we're going to try to keep our elbows in, and it's also going to just rely on chest when you're doing that. So it's basically a wide grip push-up, and you're trying to rely all on your chest and not get any help from the front delt, or not as much help from the front delt, and minimal, if anything, from the tricep. So number one position, stack your wrists right underneath your shoulders, okay? If it's a little wider than that, that's okay, but try not to go too wide. So you're getting in that position here. Now when you're in this position, the first step to actually getting your elbows going in the right direction is to lock the elbows in place or getting them where you want to be. So you can see how I can rotate my arm into the ground. So we're going to rotate inward here, and that's going to help keep our elbows go the right direction when we do the push-up exercise. I'm also going to lock my shoulder blades back and to tighten up the back, and that's going to increase stability or the structure of our back while we're doing the exercise. So we're in this position, shoulder blades locked back, elbows are turned in, into the push-up, and press back up. So what you'll notice when I go down in this position, there's more of a direct angle from the elbow directly over my wrist. You're going to get a lot better force transfer that way. You're going to be a lot more efficient with the movement. So let's say you can't do a push-up yet. I'll tell you the number one way that you will not get better at doing push-ups is from the knees. Okay? If you want to get better at doing push-ups, do not do the push-ups from the knees. The reason is it doesn't teach any structural integrity. So when I'm in the push-up position, it's not just the arms that are working. I'm flexed from the body, from my shoulders all the way down to the glutes, all the way down to the ankles. So what that does, when I drop the knees, all the stuff from the shoulders down just goes loose. So practicing this position and practicing the push-up from the upward position is going to help build strength in the rest of the body that we need to help complete the movement. So always, if you can, try to do it from a full plank position on the push-up. Now, there's other ways to help manipulate this a little bit. So if I want to make it a little bit easier, we can go on to the incline bench. So you're in this position here, doing your push-up. That's a little bit easier. And if we were to make it a little bit harder than a flat push-up, we're going to put the hands at the bottom, feet up at the top. That's a decline push-up. It's a little bit harder. So given those angles, I'm going to show you a couple ways so you can practice getting better at the push-up while you're still helping or trying to get your reps up and help getting as strong as you can with that movement. So the number one thing that I like to do is to use an assisted band on this. So what we're going to do is climb through the band, place the band right on our hips in a comfortable spot, go down into the push-up, shoulders back, elbows are turned in, and pressing back up. What that allows you to do is, again, doing the push-up from the full plank position instead of being on our knees. and help practice the technique of keeping our elbows in. So we're basically taking it so we can practice the right movement to be in. So a lot of you may have been trying to do push-ups elbows out for years and years and years. It's going to be really hard to adapt and change to that new movement pattern. So we're going to try to use the band to help assist you a little bit while you're practicing that new range of motion so you can get better at it. Number 2 way is an eccentric on the lowering portion, and then a knee push-up on the way up. So you're going to go into the push-up position here. You're going to lower yourself for about 5 seconds. And let's say you're too weak to push back up, so you just lay there, put your knees on the ground, press back up, go back into the high plank, lower, push the knees down, press back up, knees down, press back up. Okay. So again, push-ups, phenomenal exercise, but you're never going to get good at them until you can practice them from a full high plank position. So give those progressions or those regressions a shot in your program and get better at your push-ups.